Check. So, hi everyone, long time no see. Hey, yay. Yeah, it was quite a while since I streamed anything, basically. And this stream is different from those few streams I had before, since before that I played games, and right now it is about art. So probably all people who are watching right now, and it is about 6 people, I guess, all know why they're here. And for if there is someone who's stumbled for the to the stream by accident, this stream is about how to invent your own unique art style. And we have a small Discord group server, and we discussed what kind of useful stuff we can talk about. And since a lot of creators out there, and a lot of people start their journey, a lot of people are very deep in their journey of creating art and stuff, and this stream is for all of those people. And even though the stream named like how to invent your own unique art style, this is the stream would be useful for basically any sort of creator, because and you will see this later, like not see, more like here, that how we discuss this thing is probably a little bit different than you might expect from stream such a name. So I see, yeah, hi. A few more people joined. So how you doing, people? And while we are kickstarting all this stuff, how many are like creators in watching this stream right now? I see few. Oh yeah, I missed the streams as well. Oh, thanks. I'm doing great as well. So you Oh, awesome. There's music and narrative design and artistic stuff. Well, even though we had a poll, that's how we called, for to what kind of stuff will be useful for everyone to discuss. And since there was a lot of artists, and a lot of people wanted to know about the unique art style. Yeah, this is awesome. And there's a 2D and 3D people here and music people. This would be useful for everyone. Okay, I guess at this moment we can start little by little and see how it will turn out. Okay, so this stream would also use some sort of interactions between me and you and me. So there will be questions. It would be really awesome and to have your answers. So let me start my setup. Okay. So how things will go? My head here. I would speak stuff, and here and here's the screen where would be a simple topic, current topic displayed as a text. So we could anchor on it and discuss it. Sorry about that. Okay, so I think we can start. Let me open my helping document. I know I did such a stream before. It is almost like a live talk, but also not. And I hope it would be okay. So let's start. We start with this. By the way, there's like light music on the background. Is this loud or distracting for everyone? Should I like make it quieter or like turn it off? Oh, thanks. Thanks. I really appreciate that you guys are here and sharing this moment with me. Okay, yeah. Then let's leave the music on. So I have this only one royalty-free song, so it will be on repeat. Okay, so to kick this off, we start with question about AI generated images. First of all, what do you guys and girls think about recent boom of AI generated, not like images itself, but the technology? What do you think about, and have you used it? Oh, my mic is high on bass. Okay, let me fix it a little bit. So I lowered the bass. Okay, so I'll read a few messages out loud for those who might listen for the stream. So, Synth 8983 said, I feel like AI art is fun tool to toy around with, but should never replace human art. So Aiden says, I'm actually scared of AI generated images due to I want to pursue graphic design as my career, and potentially in 10 years time an AI could generate what would take it 20 minutes to make in 2 minutes. True. I even think it might be happen much sooner than 10 years. Retrodisket says AI generation overall is a cool prospect to go after, but with how it's being used recently by AI artists, in quotes, just isn't very good. Yeah. Alexander Cortes says it's like a tool from which you can start. Okay. So as I can see, a lot of you have this sharing the same thought on that AI art would not replace human art. I don't know, have you seen the current like no to AI images movement of artists? Have you somehow came across it? I never knew that High on Life game used AI art for commercial purpose, actually. I get to look into it. So about this no to AI movement, not only you came across with it, or do you know why this movement happened? Well, there is messages coming. I will explain for those who might listen and never came across this no to AI thing. To put it simply, when the recent, Aiden says, I saw it on ArtStation. It's to corrupt the AIs, right? As it fits off those kind of websites for artwork, and if most of it's just a sign with a red cross, it can't work with that. Yeah, I think it's basically that. At first, everyone was like happy and cool with the AI generated images, because it was quite fun to write a prompt and see it spits out something, and then it got better and better and better very, very fast. In the span of a few months, it became really good. And there is and then it created two big like sort of problems. The first problem, you might call it like that people who call themselves artists, they took these AI generation platforms and created a lot of very fancy artwork, and upload it as their own artwork, saying that they're artists. This made the actual artists pissed, because there is such website, for example, like ArtStation, who is created solely for artists to display their portfolio. And here they are. There's like people who create these generated images and populate this website. And not only like mixing with actual artists, making for actual artists their life harder to not only like display themselves but find job and stuff like that, but also there's the other side of it, that AI technology is supposed to be trained on images, and it was trained on a lot of on all artwork it could find, especially in the ArtStation. So basically no one asked artists they can use their images to generate for AI to learn. They just took them and teach AI to do stuff, and now AI can do stuff better than some artists, and like starting point for some artists are like first step become really high, because before that you can, I don't know, like if you're doing like a board game or a book or something like that, you can find a beginner artist and for reasonable money create an artwork for your stuff. But right now you can use AI to do this stuff. So people are pissed because they spent a lot of years mastering their skill, and then some people learn from it, like taught the AI by the years of human hard work, and then everyone can use their hard work without they asking them. Now this is a current No to AI movement to boycott the image generation by AI, and especially not to teach it by artwork without asking. That's why what I actually knew pretty recently, that there is AI who can generate music, but no one taught this AI to generate from like music from Spotify, because they know they would be sued for this. So they trained it on royalty-free music. So this is the same thing. So what do I think? So it asks, what do I think about this thing? I there's like many aspects to it. The part of teaching AI without asking is not the best way to do stuff, and I completely understand all the artists who are spent years mastering their skill and then played like that. This is not super great thing, although the AI technology itself is quite remarkable in its nature and how it can be used in the future. And I think, and I hope, and I sure we will figure things out and how to use it and how to approach this thing. Okay. So then yeah, it is incredible what it can produce. I remember when I joined all these beta programs in the beginning, and I was like, yeah, it's fine, it's okay. But then like 3 or 4 months later, it just blew my mind. By the way, this image of exploding computer on this, let me rewind it back. This is also generated by AI. Okay. So the question is, now we're discussed all this stuff. The question is images generated by AI art? What do you think? Okay, so okay, so some people think that it is definitely not art. Some people say that it's some kind of separate entity, and it's in a different reality, and there's no meaningful way to compare this. So then it is also lead us to a bigger question, somewhat harder even. The question is, what is art? So can someone give their definition of art, their personal definition of art? So I will read all the definitions out loud. So Retro-Disket says that art is an expression of human labor, emotion, and soul. Pretty cool definition. Chipchilinka, oh no, is this the reply? The So Aiden says, well, are different forms of art to me. There is a physical art, paintbrush, pencil, etc. Digital art, Photoshop, Procreate, etc. Performance art on stage, etc. Deadmeister says idea plus personal experience from life, a view of the world plus drawing itself. So Eden says for the general term of art, I would say humans being creative. This is what art, which is also true. Remington says, good question, and a hard one. I'd say art is something you create yourself, mostly from scratch, something that expresses someone else's thoughts, feelings, etc. And it is created with a purpose. But all the sentences are finished with question mark, so I guess it's supposed to be like I'd say art is something you create yourself, mostly from scratch, something that expresses someone else's thoughts, feelings, and is created with purpose. I guess like that. Interesting question. OAO, I'm not sure how to read your nickname. OAOEL, I'm not sure. Saying, can cooking be considered art? What do you think? Chipchenko says about art is a way to splash the current moment you feel on paper or present something with current mood. Mr. Limba Kimbo says a vessel for your passion and creativity. Chipchenko says you may want to draw an apple, but it depends from your mood and feelings, it will hit different. This is also true. About the question about is cooking art, Sint8983 saying that cooking is an art in a way if you make your own recipes. I believe you're putting your soul and talent into something you are creating. Julia says it's a way to share your feelings or thoughts through the instruments that are available to you or you operate well with. So dance is an art too, for example. True. Roger Disket also agreed that cooking is an art. Okay, so as I can see through all the messages, there are some people, not some people, all people agree on something, that it has to do something with human emotions and mood and stuff like that, and with self-expression. And then we'll move to the next part. Let me move this keyboard around. I'll say from my perspective what is art, because it is from the way I see it. What we will talk next will somewhat derived from. So first of all, art is like a definition of art is very, very subjective. There is no right or wrong way to see and feel what art is about. So in my opinion, art is an honest expression of emotions, and art is a like to put it simply, art is an honest expression of emotions. Art is a process and not a final product. When I say product, I not mean like the product you sell, but anything you create, like a movie or a picture or a song. This is like art piece, but the art itself is a process. So the process of honest expression of emotions. And art is a way to contain, transfer this sincere, honest emotion. Art also is a process with intention, rather than somewhat like a final thing you want to create. Like this is the process with intention. And thing is, that's why not every illustration, piece of music, anything is or a book, I don't know, is a product of art. It is, yeah, it is containing and transferring emotions as art would do, because it's using the same tools. But if there is no sincere, like honest emotion and intention behind it, it's not art. Again, and this is pure speculation from my subjective point of view. So since art is I just reiterated it, since art is an honest expression of emotion, a process of containing and transferring this honest emotion, if there is no sincere and honest emotion and intention behind something, it is not art, again, as I see it. And the cool part about it, that it's you who decide, is your creation art or not. If you know you put honest emotions in it, then then it's art. Although there is two caveats in this thing. Creation of art, the next part. About intentions and honest emotions, as I said before. Well, some artists trying to create one thing, but subconsciously create something different. Even though they did not have like conscious intention behind it, because they created differently, subconsciously. It is still art, because there was honest emotion behind it, even though the artist couldn't recognize it at the moment. So you can create an art without conscious emotion, I forgot the word, sorry. Intention. That was a word what I'm looking for. You can create art without conscious intention if you create it subconsciously. And the other part is, sometimes artists know exactly what they want to express, and they have all their honest intentions and emotions, but when they finish their artwork, it did not work as intended. So they have emotions, but they failed at transferring it. They're like failed at evoking these emotions with the person that who consume art. This is a result of like the lack of skill. It is still art, but just not finished, so it would work properly. Chuchilenko says if he puts soul into it and have satisfaction, then yes, it is art. Indeed. Even though you might put your soul in it and do not have satisfaction, it is still art, although the lack of skill, as I said, resulted in it working not properly. And about lack of skill, and there is like hard part for every art creator, the skill, the skill, something that you use to create art. And the skill of the creator is basically consists of two big, I don't know, like pillars: emotional and technical. This is basically what we will talk today. There's the pillars of art creation, of skill, of what artist skill is consist of. And it doesn't matter if you are like an artist who create illustrations or doodles, or maybe you're a musician or anyone. It still consists of this. Your skill still consists of two pillars, emotional and technical. And the technical part is hard, indeed. But even though it might not feel like it, and we'll discuss it later today, it is a smaller fraction of what is actual art consists of. Because art is about emotions, so the emotional part is the biggest part than technical, even though the technical is hard on its own. And all this art process can basically would split into stages. And the main one is why you want to express something. Then you have this big why you expressing it. Then you're reflecting on what you feel, what you want to express, and then how you express it. So the receiver, like the person on the other end, will receive it as you intended, and you reach your initial why. And the last part, how to, is it like this technical part, your raw skill. If you're not just like how you do your stuff, if you're a musician, how you do your stuff. And all the rest thing is emotional. It is crucial yet trickiest, not yet, and also trickiest part. And I'm sure you've seen the music or I don't know, artworks that done with immense technical skill, but do not affect you somehow. You see it is done technically very nice, or like hear music, but it just do not work because they failed at the emotional part. And also you could see very simplistic from technical standpoint artwork, but it evokes very strong emotions. So again, the emotional part is very important. So we came to these elements of skill. We discussed like why, what, and how. I try to align them either by W's or by H later. So why, what, and how. This is the main elements of skill of artists. Okay, so Remington says, for example, I start an artwork and it often turns out entirely different from the one I saw in head or wanted. That's why I always want to finish the work in one sit. Tomorrow it will be something else. Actually, really nice point. I very often have the same thing, but also later in the stream we will discuss a few stuff that will help with this and help you return to your artwork later with the same intention. So, yeah, the elements of skill. I forgot what kind of, yeah, why. this is the big one. Why you want to express something you like, not okay, let me tackle this topic differently. Why you want to express something? Having answer to that question would really help, and would really help with how your art would turn out to be. And knowing your why would also help you to focus and to clear the picture. That is somehow even connected with what Remington says. When you create an artwork and then you return later to it, and you have different emotions, and you either create out of the different image if you're an artist, or fail to finish the stuff. So knowing your why help you, so in the end you could compare the result of what you did and check if you reached your goal you set for your artwork. So each time you create something, there is a reason behind it, even though you might not feel like it, or maybe do not realize it in the moment, but there is always a reason behind it. And usually all the reasons why we create art, for each individual piece of art, or in general, one way or another, it has come from our like main why, and it like the reason why we make art in general, why we create stuff. Not by we I mean not like why people create art in general, but each individual person. I'm sure each of you sorry, well, all of you have the reasons why you do art. Not everyone can like say in a moment why exactly, because it requires some time to think why you do what you do. If someone know their why they create something, like why they wake up and have this urge to do stuff creative, please write your message here. That would be really nice for everyone to know your why. And our like big why we do stuff, it is what fueling our art, and it is this why thing. It's basically your like a mission and your purpose in life, because it's not only affecting our creative stuff, but it's usually affecting us as a person. Not like affecting, but it is our almost like a soul. Why we this type of person we are. And someone might feel like they don't have this some sort of why or purpose, but they have it. I assure you. And knowing your why is make your life much easier, because every time you do stuff and you maybe struggle or struggle or stuck, you can always ask yourself, is this helping my like mission, my purpose of like why I'm doing this? Chipchilinka says, why? For me, because some emotions is grown enough to go outside. They got enough weight inside me to make me want to share them. Yeah, but there is a even bigger questions. I have a trick question for you. But why you want to share them? Why? What do you think about it? So the question is, for everyone out there, what is your ultimate mission as an artist? Or I might even say like a creative person, even though you might be not artist or someone else, but I would say like artist. Person creates art. What is your ultimate mission as an artist? And this is, mind you, could be the hardest question of your life, but really helpful. Chipchinka says, I want to show them because it's the most common instinct of human. Show something which you want to show. Dead Masa says, I like to feel how much work I put into what I do. I love to show myself through my creativity, to show my view on everything. No one will see the world through my eyes, and this is a way to do it. Aiden says, I often find myself seeking other people's approval for the things I make. That might be due to social media, but I'm not entirely sure. Remington says, same with Chip. Either the emotion is too heavy to carry, or very inspirational, so it becomes artwork. I share art to make people happy with it, or bring them emotions, not just happiness. So Remington, a question is for you. Why do you think you want to make people happy? And we are getting closer to this, like the ultimate mission of an artist, because it is sometimes quite hard to keep you asking yourself like why until we reach this wall, or not wall, I don't know, like something where the question why stop making sense. But it is walking this path of asking yourself why will help you to know yourself better immensely, even though it might not make sense in the moment, but it will, I assure you. So knowing your why thing and your mission as an artist will also help you, I'm just reiterating, or will help you to understand yourself better, and generally like things you do in life as well. So knowing why you do stuff you do, it describes you as a person, even though at the moment you might do not have the clear answer to it, because it might take years to actually grab onto it. But thing is, don't let the lack of answer that you're fine with paralyze you. Just keep moving and keep looking, and you'll uncover all your like values and strong sides and insecurities or stuff like that on the way, which is also help you to understand why you do stuff. Aiden says, I suppose my main mission is to ensure I have a job in the future that I'm happy with. Also, quite useful mission to accomplish. Thing is, about the mission and your like why is it is something you cannot achieve. It is basically like something you exist for. And I've heard somewhere that the the great way to know your why is to ask your very close friends why they friends with you. And this will help you also. The answer might be your why. Why you the way you are. As an example, I will share my why, my mission. So, as I said, that the mission is not something you can achieve. It is a destination. It's not a destination. it is direction. And your mission usually comes from your values and what drives you to live and what kind of person you are. As an example, my mission is creating honest environment where everywhere where I am. And the honesty is what I value the most. And being honest with yourself, being honest with your surrounding. And I believe if everyone would be honest, our planet would be a better place. And the creating honest environment is what drives me to create art. Through helping people to see and understand their emotions and paying attention to what they feel, why they feel it, to help people be honest with themselves. And when you're honest with yourself, you're honest with everybody around you. So each piece of art I'm creating, or anything I do in general, basically, targeted one way or another to this mission. Even like doing this stream, I wanted to share all this knowledge and experience to help people better understand themselves and their art, which has helped them to be honest with themselves and honest with surrounding. Chipchenka asks, well, Nikita Karev, let me read this. More correct, gonna be art showing the person you have been in the moment you created this art. We're always changing. Sometimes when you look at older works, you can't believe you've done that. Yes, that's true. We are living organisms, and we change a lot, and even our values can change, and our mission can change. It's true. Remington says, honestly, I don't think artists will ever fully achieve what they want. You can endlessly learn and evolve, or sadly go backwards sometimes, and this applies to every kind of art. It's true. It's true. Because again, any kind of art thing is hardly a destination. It is a route we traverse through life. So this is why. This is why one part of the emotional aspect of the skill, knowing why you do stuff. Again, it might not make sense in a moment right now, but believe me, it will. The second part is after why is what. Reflect on what you feel and what you want to express. Oh, Aiden says, what I struggle with is the most these days is the time management. Yeah, time management is a it's a weird thing to tackle. I'm very bad at it as well, but there's a few stuff that maybe we can maybe collect some sort of topics and we can briefly discuss them in the end. Like time management would be also a nice thing to share what everyone experienced with this. So what the what part? So the first aspect of it is reflect on what you feel. Understanding your own feelings will help you greatly, as we spoke before, in your creative process. You can submerge yourself into these emotions you feel, and they extract the source for your creations. So understanding what you feel and why you feel it gives the answer on what to express, and help you to give yourself more stuff that trigger these emotions, so you can mentally like swim through it and help yourself to crystallize what you feel in the moment to create this, to express it. So you're reflecting on what you feel, and then you channel it into what you want to express, and having the clear understanding of your goal you're trying to achieve with something, with art, will help make your right decision while you're creating it. If you know what kind of emotion you're trying to achieve, it is much easier to check every hard decision by, is it bringing me closer to the goal or further from it? And here's some examples. Sometimes I very often see people when they, for example, an artist, but it is applied to everyone. Like artist making an artwork, and at some point they ask themselves, is it prettier if I add this or that to the artwork? Or should I tint the bluish or reddish color here and there? And they find themselves in a situation where they cannot decide. They look at it and they're not sure if they should, what is prettier, what is work here. And the thing is, this happens if artist is not sure what they're trying to express with this artwork, because they skipped for some reason the moment of reflecting on what you feel and what you're trying to express. So if you know what you're trying to express, there is no such problems, and it's usually the opposite. You're seeking of the way of reaching the exact target. And I have a few examples that we can look together and see how knowing your goal would drastically change the artwork. I have a different layout for this one. Okay, so let's look at this image. What do you feel looking at this picture, this photograph? right now I mean like general emotion you feel seeing this photo. Yeah, Remington says the picture gives good vibes. I like all the books a lot. Warm colors also. I agree. Yeah, Chupchenko says I feel like this library is kind of not popular. It's calm. Calmness. That Masha says calmness. Yeah, Chupchenko says melancholic and calm in a good way. I agree. So this image is produce this warm, happy, but also not like happy, yeah, fun, but like warm and calm emotion when you see it. And we can imagine if this was maybe this is the artistic photography, or this is like the artwork, and the artist wanted to express this feel of calmness and coziness. Yeah, Yule says a cozy warm feeling. Even a bit ASMR. Yeah, it is. And if the person wanted to express this calmness and warm and coziness, they go with warm colors, the light, like bright light, books, which just create this calmness. And it's on like library, or this is like a used bookstore or something like that. So if the artists know exactly what they feel and what they're trying to achieve, what they're trying to express, there would be like easy decision. This quite easy to understand what they went for. But this is, by the way, the original photo. This is not changed. That's how I found it online, probably on Pinterest or something. Then I'll black it out so we would forget how it looks. And then I tinted the colors a little bit. What do you feel right now? What is your emotion? It would be easier if you like look at it and like first emotion come to you. Aiden says it looks colder to me. It is colder. Indeed. Oh, Chipchilinka gave really cool, deep, emotional explanation. It gives a vibe of place which is cut out of common world. Place is offended for being left alone, which is really nice. Really nice description. I couldn't describe it better myself. Remington says, yeah, cold colors feel a bit like a horror movie sometimes, something eerie. You expect something bad to happen, but because of the books, it still gives me good vibes. But that's subjective. So, as you can see, if you know exactly what you want to reach, just tinting the image in different color, like in a snap of a finger, literally changes the whole mood. Here is the black and white, for example, which just gives a completely different feeling as well. It is almost like timeless, romantic, different kind of emotion. And here is the last one, which is again yeah. And the last one, which is like a drastic example of how colors and adding few items can again change drastically your artwork, again if you know what you want to achieve. Again, black out, this one, as if we look through the bookshelves. What do you feel about this? Aiden said that it make me feel like I'm a stalker. Yeah, this one would make you feel like a stalker. Because it's literally what it is. So again, when you create an artwork, connecting to what you want to, what you feel, and what you want to express, will help make your decisions while creating art, either music or images or photograph or anything. And not only colors, like here, can change everything. The adding, or like for example, if you create an artwork, I don't know, like street or something like that, and you know exactly what you want to person on the other end to feel, it's easier to decide what kind of objects place in there. And here's the next example of how adding objects without changing the color palette, how adding objects would also change the vibe of the image completely. Well, this guy, again, I found this photograph somewhere on Pinterest. Sorry for not crediting who this person is, the photographer. Again, this guy is sitting on a bed, black and white photo. Aiden says, this one makes me feel depressed. Indeed, I agree. This feels like, to me, for example, it feels like loneliness. This is just scream loneliness, and there's like no hope in anything. But imagine myself as an artist, and I'm trying to create a different feeling, and I'm asking myself, okay, right now I'm looking at it, and it just scream this apathy, almost like loneliness. But for example, I want to achieve different. I want to achieve like hopefulness, completely different, almost like the opposite emotion. And how would I achieve hopefulness? How would I fix fix in quotes, how would I fix this image? So I tweaked it a little bit, magic of Procreate and stuff, and I added a cat, which is changing the vibe of the image completely. And again, understanding what you want to express will help you greatly. Will help you greatly of what kind of tools to use to express. Yeah, the stream would be saved. Yeah, again, Aiden says, okay, so now it makes me feel like he lost his wife and is being comforted by the pet she bought him. Again, it could be. It is, yeah, giving this romantic, almost like hopeful feeling. And then let's turn tables again. Like that. Add in this travel bag. Again, changes this scene completely. With open window and the bag, this almost like a new beginning for this person. Like something new would awaits for this guy. Which is, again, remember what we did here is just changed one item and it changes everything completely. And again, I repeat myself, but it's very crucial, which thing I many years ago I did not understand properly. That if you, when you create something, you reflect on what you feel, and then when you try to crystallize what exactly you want to express, it is much easier knowing your goal with the artwork. It is much easier to create it so it would work out in the end. Each time you do, like, make hard decision, choose color or something like that, you pause and you ask yourself, okay, am I reaching my goal? Like, am I closer to it or am I further from it? And there would be no question like, is it prettier or not prettier? Because it wouldn't lead you nowhere. Would lead you nowhere, but asking yourself, is it bring me closer to my goal? Will help you immensely. Okay, Aiden says, okay, wow, so this one makes me feel like he's feeling sentimental and nostalgic, and taking in the room one last time before leaving for a fresh start. Yeah, fresh start again. Completely agree. As he almost like he, yeah, feeling nostalgic. You explained this really nicely. Chip Shilinka says, you live in the parents' house after seeing it. It's gonna be demolished most likely after that, so he gets satisfaction from the last moments of his past. Also, again, moving forward. Remington says he either arrived or he's going to leave. Some items, like his luggage, are giving strong symbolism to the picture, letting go or trying to fit in somewhere new. My first thoughts. By the way, yeah, actually this is also the emotion I couldn't figure out, but trying to fit in somewhere new is really nice thing. Nice description. Okay, there's a third part. How you create something. And to put it simply, let me return to this one. There is no right or wrong way how to make art, like the way you make it. Anything can be art, as long as it's honest and reaching its goals and resonates with you. You can use anything if you know what you're trying to achieve. As we talked before, like is cooking art or is graffiti art? Yes, anything can be art. I don't know, fixing laptops can be art. Certain types of styles and tools and other will help you with a specific goal, and you get to figure out which works best on like how to use it, how to achieve what we discussed in previously. Like what you have your why, your lighthouse, you're moving forward. Then you have these emotions you want to express. You ask yourself what I feel, what I want to express. You crystallize it, and then you ask yourself, okay, how can I do it? What tools at my disposal? And some people, it's like no-brainer to like pick up a pencil and start drawing. There's some people who do different kind of art. Everyone find their own tool, and the cool thing is anything can be art, anything can be tool of art. To summarize this why, what and how, I'll briefly explain my like example of my process of creation art. This might give you some sort of maybe useful information. Oh, thanks, Chipchilinka. I really glad you find it atmospheric and helpful and calm and comfortable. Thanks. This is really nice. This is the vibe I was going for, and I really glad that you're feeling this way. I feel this way too, and I'm really glad that you people are joined here and we can discuss all this stuff together. This is really nice. So before that, example how I do it. Before that, I told you my mission, like why I do, and this is like a general lighthouse I'm moving toward. And now the example of the process. I know my why, and I'm just like a train moving toward it, and there is like what I want to express and how I want to do it. And here's the example. Basically, I start with the feeling. Starting with logic rarely bring me to somewhere, and it is okay to not have a clear understanding from the beginning. But the thing is, you gotta stay in the flow of that feeling. So what I do, I catch some kind of emotion or something, and I feel like something is like starting there, and I want to grab this emotion. So I start with the feeling, and then I submerge into emotions, and I try to find what will anchor me in the flow. It may be a music or a space around you, or anything that would enhance this emotion that you started with. For me, I could like listen one song on repeat for many hours, which brings me this anchors me into this emotion I started with. and amplifies it. Then, so I start with a feeling, I submerge into emotion, and then in the process of creating stuff, I look for this emotion inside my artwork. And again, it could be like drawing or music or game, anything. I look for this emotions inside artwork, and I have this vague understanding of emotions. I try to grab onto it, anchor myself, and for example, like I'm drawing or doing the music, and here and there I have this glimpses of I do stuff which are amplify my emotion. Like I do the drawing and I created a certain part of it, and I feel like this I don't know, like this light on the grass or this tree, I feel like I did this like somehow correctly. I feel like this enhances. So while I'm in it, I keep finding what enhances this emotion in the process, and I try to consciously like find each step that enhance these emotions, and I try to grab onto it. And if at this point I'm still not sure, I have all these emotions and I'm still not sure what this artwork is about, I keep drawing, deleting, if I'm talking about drawing, adding something again and again deleting, and I'm trying to find, and I'm still not sure. And then I stop and I ask myself, or not stop, I keep asking as I do this stuff. I keep asking, what am I feeling? Why I want to draw this in the first place? And again, what I want to express with this. And I keep doing this over and over again, all these 3 steps, and the goal became clearer and clearer and clearer. Then when I see like the light in the end of the tunnel, it has become even clearer. I try to keep the direction. At this point I probably already understand what I'm feeling and what I want to express and why. And here is the logic part comes in. I experiment with the ideas and tricks and stuff which brings me closer to the goal. So I realized why I'm doing this, what I want to achieve, and then I do stuff and I thinking logically, okay, I want to, as we saw the previous example, like I had this some sort of emotion. For example, I drew this man on a sofa or on a bed, like looking in this open window, and I feel like what would bring me closer to the new beginning and stuff like that. And then okay, the luggage, and so this helps me to find this small stuff, as well as I try to submerge into the world within this artwork I created. I try to like be inside of it. Even this is like even if it's a doodle, and I ask myself, why is it there, and or like why is it this way, or what would this character feel, and stuff like that. It also helps to keep the direction. And then the small but a very important point, the last one, know where to stop. Previously I could easily overdo art and spoil it, and I do make it worse. And knowing your goal, what you're trying to achieve, will help you to stop. And it's much easier to stop when you know when to stop, because you know you achieved it already. So to sum this example, I start with a feeling, trying to understand it. I submerge into this emotion. Like I start with a feeling, I have something, I try to grab onto it and submerge into it, trying to anchor myself into this emotion. Then I try to look for this emotion into the first glimpses of my artwork, trying to anchor myself deeper into this artwork. When I feel it crystallized, I keep the direction flowing, asking myself, how can I amplify it? And when I reached this peak of this emotion, I feel like that's it, I have to stop. It is work as it intended, and then I stop. So basically this is how I approach. So the conclusion of all the previous steps, and it's not the end, but the conclusion of stuff. So all these aspects we discussed, like why, what, and how. All these aspects are a big part of what make up someone. Because this stream is called how to create your own art style for a reason. So the conclusion is all these aspects we are talked before is what makes up someone else's unique art style. It derived from the artist. It is from you, basically. or like from you, like things you feel, things you want to express, why you want it, how you want to do it, is all made, it's all what your unique art style is made of. It is all you become living through all the experiences you have. It is your essence. So style of each artist is basically the artist itself. So when the question is on how to develop unique art style, the main secret behind it is to let it out rather than to invent it. So the question is how to let it out. Obviously. And how to let it out. And then we return to the thing we started from. Return to a question about AI. Is AI generated images art? So, is AI generated images art? I didn't answer it previously. I read all your answers, and as I see it, it is not art, but it is a tool for art. It is not art on its own, it is a tool, because art is a process, and this is a tool for it. As I said before, there's no right or wrong way to do art. Anything is a tool. If it reaches the honest goals and intentions that art is trying to achieve, it is art. Anything could be art. Remington says, honestly, I don't have a set art style. It always changes, which gives me a bit of uncertainty to every artwork I make. I also can't draw the same thing twice. Not sure if that's normal. I think it's normal. I also can't draw the same thing twice. Anything is normal. And we will the second part of the stream about how to let it out will also help you to understand your but again, as I said before, style of which artist is an artist itself. So you all already have your art style, and we will discuss right now how to kind of crystallize it. So, is AI generated images art? No, it's a tool. Because, as I said before, again from my subjective point of view, art is a process of transferring emotions from one human to another, like with intention, honest intention behind it. Neural network do not have intentions and stuff like that. It's just a tool. And how it can be used in any kind of way. It can be used as a tool for creating art or just any kind of images, because as we spoke before, that if something evokes emotions, it doesn't mean it's art. It uses the same tools, but art is like exists in different space. Okay. And then returning to questions, how to let it out. To answer this question, we have to touch on how AI creates art. Do you know how a neural network create images? Yeah, so you're basically correct. Well, without diving into the technical part, how exactly art is created, to simplify it. But if you want to discuss it, we can discuss it briefly, like the technical thing behind it. But if to put it simply, yeah, it is collects a bunch of data, and all this data mixes and mutates with each other, creating this sort of informational soup. And depending on which data neural network was trained, it affects how resulting art would look like, because it's created from this soup. And just to skip all the diffusion part. So, and same thing with people. Each person had a different experience in life, and everything you ever experienced, literally anything, it is what makes up your art style. Your emotions, your thoughts, all the information you ever consumed, all the feelings you ever felt, all the art you ever looked at, anything is just part of this huge soup. And everything you throw at yourself will be reflected in your art style. like to put it simply, no one never ever create something that never existed before. It just mix and mutate with all the different information and create newer and newer elements for the soup for others to consume and to create newer and newer mutations of information. So the thing is, that's the best way. So the best way to find your own style is by embracing and expanding your inner content, like what you already have, and expand on what you want to have. So, and let all this informational soup you have, let it flow without forcing it or change it, but just the way it is. You still kind of change it by expanding your soup, and in a good way. We'll cover it in a bit. So basically, to crystallize your art style, you have to follow this four steps. I called this 4 steps EEPF, which is weird and not helpful. And in reality, this is embracing, expanding, practice, and feedback. This is 4 parts to grow your skill, basically, to help you find your art style. So the first part is embracing. Well, follow your feelings is a crucial part of discovering your art style. Not only art, like any kind of style, if you do music, games, anything. And thing is, embracing your inner thing is really very important. Be supportive and greet all your feelings you have equally. Right now we're like stepping into the psychological territory. There's no good or bad emotions you have. Anything is useful and anything is important equally. Either it's like bad or good, or any kind of emotion. There's no bad or good. Anything is equal. So some people set their goal as finding my art style, and I previously said this as a goal for myself, but which is better approach to it is to focus on your mission, we discussed it before, and to make expressing my emotion your goal, like expressing emotion. And and your style will manifest naturally through this. You already have your style, but it just maybe not as prominent as you want it to be, but you already have it. And what are best practices of embracing your stuff? Best practice is start drawing something and finish it without correcting yourself on the way. If you're trying to understand what kind of artist you are, if it is art, if it is music, it works the same way, or anything else, and without correcting it, like thinking, no, this is not how I want my style to be. No, without it, just finish it and look at it finished, if you like it or not. Finishing something without correcting it on the way, just as is, will help you to see your kind of true form. You might not like it at first. It's okay. We've all been there, and we will. But the better thing here to do is ask what I do not like about it. without like punishing or something like that. You just draw. If you're like artist, you draw something without correcting on how you think you want your art style to look like. Just let it flow to see what the final result, and ask yourself, okay, what I like about it, what I don't like about it. Just distance from it. And it's okay if you do not like it in the process. The goal here is to finish it and just finish it. Thing about this practice is to get rid of psychological constraints you might have, and let your inner soup, as we call it, flow just as is. And less constraint you put on this soup, more raw you'll see your style as a result. And this all will help to crystallize your personal art style. Seeing it raw helps to connect with it. Connect with everything you are and everything you had in your life before, without trying to shape it like in a cool way. The coolness will come later, but from a different place. And you already have this coolness in you, and the goal is to let it flow and gain enough experience to materialize it. Remember, there is no right or wrong way. There is only your way, and no one can explain how you express your own feelings. So that's on you. Expanding the next part, as I say, embracing, then expanding. Life is all about experiences, as you might already know. So thing is, give yourself an experience. Fill your life with stuff you like. See things, listen things, I don't know, play things, read things, walk things, visit things, I don't know. Do anything, throw any kind of experience at yourself. Anything you like, and different kind of experience. More experiences you have, wider range of experiences you experienced, more tools you have at your disposal, more rich your soup is, just like neural network. And especially like throwing at yourself stuff that resonates with you. Next step is practice. Actively train. There is no shortcut here. More you practice, better you get. And the thing is, I'm not talking about the actual, not only about like the actual drawing or playing the instrument or stuff like that. Not only technical part, but all of the above that we talked before. More you do everything, like more you experience, more you do stuff, practicing all these emotions and the technical parts, anything. More you do, more experience you add to your soup, and better control you have over it. And there is no shortcut. To discover and improve your style, you have to practice, and practice on a regular basis, systematically and with purpose. If you're an artist who like illustrations, like draw stuff you like, but also give yourself challenges. Draw something you never drew before, something that will improve your. I know this is like obvious, but it is got to be said, and you have to practice consistently. Do this stuff on a regular basis, every day, or I don't know, every other day, anytime it's possible realistically for you. And again, as I said before, not only technical part, not only playing the instrument or drawing and stuff. Practice emotional stuff. Ask yourself, again, every time, what I feel, why I feel it, what my emotions is about, and stuff like that. Practice both of these aspects equally. And remember, art and style is not about how fast and realistic you can draw things if you're an artist, but it's how effective you can transfer, store, or express an emotion, and it goes from emotional and from technical part equally. The fourth, the last part of this EEPF thing is feedback. And this is sometimes part is left out very often. Giving feedback is crucial. If you practice blindly drawing, copying and repeating, and copying and repeating, this might lead you nowhere, unfortunately. Or reaching the destination you're trying to reach will take a lot of time. So the good practice is to take some time to reflect on your art. So when you created art, again, music, drawing, book, anything you do, when you created art, ask these questions. Do I like it? Not like me, but you, the one who created. Do I like it? Does it turn out to be the way I planned? What parts are working, I guess. What parts do not work? And what can be improved? This is like general things. And how to, again, I repeat questions quickly. Do I like it? Does it turn out to be the way I planned? What parts are work? What parts do not work? What can be improved? And how to use this feedback thing. The part that, what part is work? So the part is turned out to be as you wanted, reaching your intention. Leave it as is, and answer yourself, why is it good, why it worked out, and remember this answer. It will help you in your future artworks. Then answer, what do not work. See the part of your art that are turned out not as you wanted, not reaching your goal. Again, as we spoke before about the goals. And ask yourself, why exactly it did not work out. As an example, like if we wanted to create a romantic image and we drew this lonely man in front of open window, like everything almost nice, the man nice, the open window nice, but it's not romantic. What did not work? Something, and how it can be fixed. What exactly did not work? And in case of this man, it can be fixed by adding a cat, for example, or luggage, depending on what was your initial goal. So again, you ask what is work, leave it, remember the answer why it worked out, then ask yourself what did not work, why it did not work, and how it can be fixed. Again, remember the answer. Then ask yourself what can be improved in general with this art. What can be done to improve this artwork? And do you have the, like, when you finished it, do you have the idea, if you could like turn back in time, do you have thoughts on how to make the original idea stronger? And either change artwork, like return and redo this, or remember it and improve your next one. And the important part is to remember there is no good or bad things. There are only parts that are worked out and did not work out. That's it. And again, it's much easier to find the answers if you know your initial goal. And answering these questions will also help you understand what your soup, this informational soup, is lacking. And understanding it will help you to find the ways to add it. What kind of experience do you do not have, or what kind of technical skill you don't have, stuff like that. And this part of feedback not only covers while you're developing your art style, but your life, work life, anything in general, basically. Thing is about this feedback, is best approach here is to treat yourself while giving this feedback again. And again, this will work in life and anything, not only in art. Best approach here is to treat yourself with love and be your own best friend. Be supportive and just find, like, together with yourself, find what works and what's not. There's no judgment, no judging, no punishment, just curiosity and love for yourself. And the thing is, your head as a creator is supposed to be your safest place, so make it safe. And the best way to learn it is to practice it. Being hard on yourself is actually a habit, and you can unlearn it if you're hard on yourself. And if you are hard on yourself, not only while creating art, but in a daily life too, you can practice support. Make it safe. I think I will share this experience I had in life, which helped me realize that being hard on yourself is a habit, not something you're forced to live with. Before that, in life, when I do something wrong, I don't know, anything, not only in art, but I don't know, maybe I forget something or I break something, stuff like that. I could say myself, like, in my head or out loud, like, oh, you're idiot, or something like that. Or maybe much worse a word. And it was, I just use it all the time, every time I did something bad. But then I realized, okay, why do I do that? I can be supportive to myself. And then it's true story. And this is how I lived my whole life till my late 20s. And at some point, when I did something bad, like break something or forget or anything, and I said to myself, like, oh, you idiot. And then I stopped, and then, okay, I'm not an idiot, I forgot it, and that's okay. And it is like, sound like funny or weird, but the magic is there's no magic. It works. Months into stopping myself every time I said, like, oh, you're an idiot, or okay, I'm not an idiot, I broke it because that's or I forget it because that's okay, that's fine, I'm good. And believe it or not, few months later, it gradually became less and less common. And I don't know, like a year later or maybe half a year, I'm not remember exactly, it stopped. And right now, if I do something bad or again break, forget something, did a poor decision that resulted in some problem, I never talk bad about myself in my head. I just say, okay, that's how it happened. And like grabbing myself in the moment and just unlearning it into a different kind of habit helped me immensely to giving this kind of feedback in life. True story. You can unlearn it if you do this thing, and it's not healthy. It's not helping you. And each time you want to say something bad about you, say something nice. It would feel like a stupid thing to do for a few months, but then you later you will not want to say something bad. You only want to say something nice. It would be hard at first, but then it would be really good. And also nice practice to ask yourself why you're criticizing yourself. And there would be like a lot of answers to it, like maybe because I want to learn faster, or maybe because I think the other artworks are better than yours, or something else. Getting the clear answer to it will help it also to make it safe. And understanding why you feel a certain way is already half work done. Understanding it will help you work on it, and always be your best friend. Remember your mission and why you do what you do, and this is the only measure of your success. Yeah, as Aiden here saying that I often compare myself to others, and it sometimes leads me to feeling sad. It is might be, especially if you ask yourself. It would be really helpful to ask yourself, like, why are you comparing? Are you thinking that you are like not good enough? Do you want to be better, or something like to dig into it? Because it is really important thing to realize. It helps you to deal with it. And I also can compare myself to any kind of creators, and the thing is, I digged into very deep into it. And the thing is, from my experience, why I compare myself, and why I stopped to some degree at least, or diminished it, that I feel like I had to prove everyone that I capable of things, and it's come from my childhood. Like even right now I'm 33-year-old, and I still feel like I had to prove, I don't know, like maybe my parents or anyone. In my head, nothing like in real life, but in my head there is a child inside that want to prove everyone that I am capable of stuff. And that's why I compare myself, thinking, okay, I'm not capable enough, I have to do more and more and more. Sometimes it lead into good stuff, but it also can lead you in very dark places. Remington says also a comparison topic. How do you feel about comparisons as an artist? Do they motivate you? They discourage me. For example, like number comparison. Well, as I said before, it is very depends. Sometimes, usually, I try not to compare myself to anyone. This is not healthy, because there will be always someone who is better than me in any shape, form, or way. And if I look backward, there always will be someone who have less skill and stuff like that, and who compare themselves to me, or not like they in real life, but could compare. And this is like a ladder, and you're never on top of the ladder. You're always in the middle. There's someone behind you and someone in front of you, and no matter what you do, you always be in the middle. So there was no point in comparison. I can look at someone artwork to find something to inspire myself, but to compare, I only try to compare myself to my previous experience, like what I was a year ago or 5 years ago. Did I grew? I don't know, grew. Did I grow from, in terms of skill, from my past self? If yes, I'm doing everything right. Yeah, the Aidan says a really interesting thing that is also why comparing self is not useful. He says Yelena is absolutely incredible at art, and just when I think I'm doing great, I see the work she produces, and I know she has been at this for 4 times as long as me. But man, yes, this is why comparing is don't make it's like I compare myself, I don't know, to Hideo Kojima. I don't know, he was a game designer before I was born, so it just don't make sense. Every person has different life experience, environment and stuff like that. Only the best way to compare yourself is with yourself from the past. So returning to our poll that we had I don't know, a while back, and we trying to find the information for the stream. There was a question. Sorry, I forgot who put this question. The question was creating easier when sad. Creating art easier when sad. Why? So why is that? Well, sadness is a very strong emotion, and as we spoke before about this realizing and grabbing onto emotion and trying to channel it into the art, thus it's easier to do that because it is very strong emotion. Also, creative people usually are very sensitive, and they very often struggle emotionally, and this is a kind of very strong mix, being very sensitive, being sad, and sadness is a strong emotion on its own, and artists being sensitive and sad very often can be in struggling emotionally due to being sensitive, can find sadness as a very known state, because sensitive people can find themselves very often in this saddened state. So sadness is very known emotion, thus artists have more creative power using tools to operate it, because it is added to the creative soup in a vast amount. And the cool thing is all the emotions are equal, so bringing more diverse experience, if you want to, not what you have to, if you want to, you can bring more diverse experience to your life, which give you more tools to create. So if you live through the very strong happy experience, it will give you just the same tools as sadness gives you. Because it will give you new tools, and thus you are going to create stuff from a different place, kinda. Not from sadness, but from happiness. So, we reached the final stage of our stream. Only the strongest one finished it with me. Thank you, people. And this is a final conclusion. We're just simplified in everything we talked before into the very, very small conclusion. The final conclusion is skill of artist or any creative person basically consists of two elements: emotional and technical. Emotional element of skill consists of why you do what you do and what you want to do in this specific artwork. And technical part is how you want to do it. Use EEPF, embrace, expand, practice, and feedback to improve your skill. And your art style will manifest as your skill grow. So you improve your skill by this, I mean, looking into why, what, and how, and it will gradually create your art style. Oh, I don't know why he do that. Okay. So, I think that's, I see the question, what do I think about self-expression through rap? Well, as I said before, any honest and conscious expression of emotion is art. So if you ask, do I like it personally? Yeah, there is a nice rap examples I like, but there's no right or wrong way to create art. Yeah, I don't. The expanding horizons is really helpful to crystallize art, because having more tools at your disposal will help you find all these elements of your inner thing, elements of your soul. More tools you have, you're better at it. So it was really nice talking to you people. I really had a good time sharing the stuff, the experience I've had. And to be honest, when we discussed all the stuff to do such stream, when I started to preparing all the material to crystallize it, it helped me to better understand how I do my stuff and why I do what I do. And I'm really grateful for you, for your questions and ideas, that also me trying to share my experience helped me to understand stuff better. So thank you for that. I really hope as well that we have such streams in the future. We can discuss new themes and subjects to cover, That would be really nice. So I guess that's it. Let me have a sip of water. Well, yeah, there probably would be more streams, but it's hard to predict when there would be exactly. But when we discuss stuff and find things that everyone are interested in, sure. Yeah, Aiden said that I think it would be really cool to have you draw something on stream and you explain what, why, and how you do it. This is a really nice idea. I really thought about it. Either making an illustration or creating a piece of music or something like that live from scratch, and like with people talking through it. And this also and this is almost I kind of scared from this approach because it will like put me on a spot and to create this kind of art in front of everyone's eyes, and feeling scared about it inspires me to do it, which has helped me to live through this experience, even if I create, I don't know, something not interesting, or I don't want to use bad words, but something bad. But it also would be a real nice experience to have it recorded, like to record my failure. So yeah. Yeah, correct. You said like to create something with an audience, there can be anxiety inducing because of an age-old question, what if? Exactly. But this is the coolest part. If I'm scared of it, then it means there's something I can grow from, or learn from. So yeah, this is I'm looking forward to it. I will see if it would be the music piece or the illustration or something like that. But yes, I think it might be, yeah, something to improve, work on. Yes, exactly. So yeah, this is actually a nice idea. I glad to see that it resonates with you. That would be really nice. Yeah, I think I didn't say you were definitely more shy when you first said hello to now at the end. I was the same with my streams in the past. Agree. Even though I do not have the fear of audience, I'm okay with live, being live with people. I still not sure with certain stuff. For example, what I was scared in the beginning of the stream, that I spend a lot of time preparing all the material, and I basically have this like huge document where I wrote everything down, marked stuff, so I would have a ground to stand on, structure basically. And I sorry, and I was scared, is this structure and ground are like hard enough? Would I stand on it, or would I just stutter and trying to convey what I think with everything that I prepared earlier? But it worked out nice, which is, I know right now that it works nice. Okay, so all feedback is really would be really helpful, because without feedback I wouldn't know what to improve. So Aiden says, I think you did fine. The only thing I could say you could improve on is pacing, but that's entirely up to a viewer. What do you mean by pacing? You mean it was too fast or too slow? No, that's okay. You can you cannot offend me. The constructive criticism is what I'm feeding off. That's okay. I'm too slow. Okay. Good to know. I realized that there was some parts that could be said in a fewer sentences. So good to know. Okay then. We're also finishing the stream, but glad you're here for the closing of this cozy event we had. So thanks everyone for being a part of this ride, if we can call it. It was really cool to talk about all this stuff and share all these experiences, and I really was glad that you answered all these questions and share your view on stuff and your experiences. It really made this stream possible the way it was. I'm really grateful for you being here and being so open about stuff you feel and stuff you do. This is really nice. Thank you very much for that. Okay, so I'm not sure what kind of time zones everyone have, but I have 10:30 in the night. So I think good night for everyone who have night they're looking forward, or good day if you have a day. And again, okay, so 9:30 is still night is very close. So we can discuss anything, and again, I'm really would appreciate any kind of feedback on the stream. So you can if you are in the Discord, you can just drop a lot of feedback there if you have one, and would be gladly to discuss all this stuff. And again, thanks everyone, and good night.